If you're 25 years old and have little to no money saved, I want you to know something. You are not too late to start investing to plan for your future. At the same time, you're obviously not ahead, so you definitely need to buckle in, listen to this video, listen to these tips I'm about to give you, and figure out or understand that you're simply at a point where the decisions you make over the next 5 to 10 years of your life can completely change your financial future. So, this video, I really want you to lock in. So, without further ado, if I woke up tomorrow at 25 with zero savings, here's exactly what I would focus on first. Step one, building that emergency fund. I would recommend you aim for $1,000 first. Obviously, that is not a huge emergency fund. A lot of things could cost $1,000. If your motor goes out in your car, engine, transmission, for a set of tires could possibly run you $1,000. So it's not once I get $1,000 in my emergency fund, I'm good. This is just to give you that little buffer room where you're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. You have some money in case of a little emergency, in case you I don't know, you're short on rent money, so you have a little bit of money left over, or you don't have enough for groceries. You can dig into that $1,000, but ultimately hit that $1,000 first, and then you can grow it from there. I would recommend, what others have recommended to me, which is 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So whether that's, rent, food, utilities, childcare, whatever your monthly expenses are, multiply that by at least 3 months. But I would say to just feel super, super comfortable, I would aim for 6 to 12 months of monthly spend rate, your monthly burn rate, in that emergency fund. Step two, you got to eliminate the high interest debt. Most of the time, that is credit cards first. So, guys, you got to stop spending money you don't truly have. And a lot of that comes with credit cards, just maxing out credit cards, putting a bunch of purchases on credit cards that, some things may be necessary that you just don't have the money, but you really need it. But a lot of the times, you're doing takeout, you're doing Uber Eats, you're going out to eat, you're buying shit that you really just don't need. So cut that out, the biggest thing, and get rid of the credit cards, get rid of the high interest debt on those credit cards, which is like ranging from 25 to 30% interest rate, which is absolutely insane. And then I would say that the biggest thing is, if you're thinking, oh, well, should I invest or should I pay off that 25% interest? Me personally, I would pay off that high interest, because, even if you were investing at the same time while paying the card off, the returns in the market, even if they're doing great, the market's booming and you're getting like 10% return, that is not equating to the 25% interest you're paying on these cards. So focus on paying off that high interest credit card or just high interest debt. Pay that all off, and then you're able to start investing and getting that conservative 7% return every year on the markets. But if it's booming, 10%, which would be great. But, it's not always like that. But pay off that high interest debt. Step three, get the employer match. If if you're not like an entrepreneur, or you don't own your own business, focus on the employer match if your company offers that. Funny enough, I've, interacted with someone in the comments in a past video that their company doesn't offer a match, which is unfortunate. But if they do, you're in a great position. Getting that employer match is, when you look at it, it's free money. Well, let's just say, simple terms, you put $100 in, they'll match $100. You're making $100 kind of. They're not giving you $100 to go spend on food or groceries, but they are matching your $100 you're putting into their stock portfolio, and they're giving you an extra $100 into that. So they're pretty much doubling your money. So it's kind of like a double money glitch when you think about it. Double points, I should say. Maybe some zombies. But I think the biggest thing with that is, if you're able to put that $100 in, for example, it's giving you free money. So the biggest thing there is, like try not to leave that free money on the table. If you can do it, if you can get that match and it doesn't hurt you that much, do it. It's free money. It only speeds up. I would almost consider it like, think of doubling your investments on a year-to-year basis if you are doing the company match, because they're matching what you're putting in on a yearly basis. Step 4, max your Roth IRA. I know I've talked about this in a previous video, but the Roth is solid, guys. I would say that is one of the biggest investment, I'd say, milestones or goals that I recommend everyone try to achieve on a year-to-year basis, just maxing out your Roth IRA. Because like when you get your finances down, it's not a crazy ask, I guess. I think currently this year, as of 2026, you can put $7,500 into your Roth IRA for the year, and then you can't invest any more into it. But it just ultimately, I would recommend you just go visit my previous video on the Roth IRA and why I think it's, sometimes too good to be true, why I think it's one of the best investment accounts and one of the best investment strategies you can use to plan for your future financially. So I definitely recommend you check out that video. But jumping back into, the steps here, step 5, you got to invest consistently. Once you get into that habit, once you get into that mindset of, hey, I know I have to set $100 aside every month to put into my account to get that employer match, or to make sure I'm investing every month, every time I hit paycheck, $100 is instantly going to my future. You're pretty much paying yourself for the long term. You can go over, like you can feel free to use like an investment calculator. I would go on Google and just look up like financial investment calculator or savings calculator, investing calculator, and you'll find a bunch of them. Or even plug it into like your favorite ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, if anyone even uses that, and just kind of ask it like hey, if I invest $100 every month for the next 40 years of my life, what are my numbers going to look like? I may even do that, honestly, and then just, kind of post the picture throughout the video. So we'll see if I remember to do that. But yeah, just play with it, see what the numbers come out to be. And, as you're doing that, think about, well, how much do I need to live on in a yearly basis? So like if your expenses are like $2,000 a month times 12 months, $24,000 a year, that would get you through a year of living. That's like, I'm assuming you would include like rent, utilities, food, whatever your monthly expense is, multiply that by 12. That's your yearly expense. You probably could add a little bit every year for like just to account for inflation. But I mean, we're not going to get super technical in this video. I would just, like I said, plug it in online, Google it, and just kind of see what numbers you can hit with that money you will invest consistently over months, over years, over decades. And I think you'd be pretty amazed to see not how fast, but how consistency will get you to a number your friends and family would and will probably never see in their lifetime, just being honest, because a lot of people don't truly understand the power of, long-term investing, and you're just investing smart for your future. So just a little food for thought there from me, at least. And, number 6 here, I would say another big one is avoid the lifestyle inflation, or how other people call it, lifestyle creep. And, if you're slowly increasing your income, or you're job hopping, looking for more money a year, first off, kudos to you. Always try to make more money. I think everyone's goal would ultimately be make more money every year, as long as it doesn't really impact your lifestyle too much in a negative way. As income grows, you're able to invest more a month. Instead of only investing $100 a month, you're able to invest $200, $300 a month. You're able to save more. You're able to put more money into your emergency fund, so you can kind of breathe a little bit more, or you can take more risks because you have some money to fall back on. And the one of the biggest things is when it comes with that lifestyle creep is, don't immediately upgrade everything. If you get a new job and you're in an apartment that, gets the job done, it isn't too far away from the new job. It's not like life threatening or anything major that you would just ultimately need to go and upgrade to a bigger, better apartment complex. Just stay at the old one, and then pocket the difference you're making with that income boost. Or don't start going out to eat more. Don't start going and getting Uber Eats or getting food delivered more than you already were because you're making more money. Just I would consider maybe treat yourself a little bit, like kind of reward yourself, like, oh yeah, I make this much extra more money, so maybe I'll get dessert every once a week or once a month. Just kind of treat myself, go out to eat. And with that mindset, you continue to build, like, hey, like this extra income, this bigger income, I'm able to invest more, I'm able to save more, I'm able to get to my future financial goals even quicker. And once you realize where you're like, hey, if I invest $200 every month for the next 40 years instead of $100 for the next 40 years every month, I can knock off 5 years of working or 3 years of working or whatever that number is. It lights that fire under you even more to be like, okay, all right, how can I get there faster? How can I invest more? How can I save more? How can I make more money? And it just continues to stack on top of each other. And it is an amazing feeling when you realize, hey, I'm at this point where, I don't have to wait till I'm 67 years old, or I believe that's the year that you're like the official retirement age is right now currently. But if you can just knock off a couple years there and you're like, hey, I can actually retire at 62, or I can retire at 58 or 50 years old, 40, whatever your goal is. If you can continue to knock down those years where you're able to invest at a sooner age and still be comfortable living, on your other half of your year or your other half of your life, if you want to call it that. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. I think that's a huge one, avoiding the lifestyle inflation. But ultimately, guys, I think that's it for me tonight. At the end of the day, there is no magic age where everything clicks financially. This video was based around, if you woke up at 25 years old, you have nothing saved, but the same thing applies if you woke up at 20 with nothing saved, 27 with nothing saved, 30 with nothing saved, 35. But as you get older with having nothing saved, it just makes it harder on yourself, and it requires you to be more aggressive when it comes to investing as the years climb up, as you get older and you want to start at zero. And I would say the biggest mistake isn't having $0 saved at 25, 30, 35. I'd say the biggest mistake is convincing yourself it's too late to start. I think especially that this definitely hits harder for my younger guys who think, oh, I'm 21 years old. I should have put away my birthday money. It's too late for me, bro. You have the rest of your life. You have like 60 plus years, easily. I mean, granted, unless a tragic accident happens or you get sick, whatever. But you have your whole life to turn it around. And I think that's that kind of snowball effect where they think they're too old already, even though they're 21 years old, and they get caught in that loop, like, hey, it's too late for me, I'm just going to party out my 20s, my 30s, and just see what happens in life. So at the end of the day, guys, a few smart decisions repeated for years and decades can completely change where you end up. So with that being said, that is it for me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.